Well, yeah, all Marines are crazy.
Of course, of course. A little bit. You got to be a little crazy. You got to be a little crazy.
And tell us your name and what is your experience and your connection with Brandon Raub, who's here behind us at the John Randolph Medical Center, currently being evaluated following his unlawful detention.
Yeah, my name is Greg Price. I served with Brandon Raub. I was actually in recruit training with him. Went to Iraq with him 2006, 2007. We were in the same platoon. 1st Platoon Charlie Company, 4th CEB. Served together for 6 years. He actually deployed to Afghanistan right when I was getting back in 2010. We talk quite a bit and we share a lot of the same views on what's going on today in American society and with our government.
Actually, would you say that you post similarly dangerous things on your Facebook page?
Well, I don't know if posting, the truth is necessarily dangerous, but then again, truth is treason and an empire of lies, right? So I do post a lot of things, especially concerning the Federal Reserve. When it comes to 9/11, I know that that's a touchy subject for many people in American society. However, I do share many of the same views that Brandon Raub shares, especially on Facebook. So I'd say we're pretty similar on most of our views when it comes to the indoctrination of American society and the way they think and believe, and how most of it is false.
So why do you think he was detained?
Well, that's an interesting question. He's been blowing a whistle for a long time on Facebook, and I believe he. There's a few other ideas I have in my head, but I'm not willing to share them just yet. I have a couple things that I think may have occurred, especially concerning people, but I can't share those yet. But he's a whistleblower. He's calling out the truth.
So when you say things that you're speculating may have happened, are you suggesting that he may have been blowing the whistle on much more specific things rather than just general spreading what is at this point common knowledge about what a sham our government has become?
Well, he absolutely was calling out not necessarily specific people, but specific groups, and he was much more specific in his calling out on Facebook than many of us who share his same views. So,
with particular information that he was privy to?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him that. But he is a pretty intelligent individual. He knows how to do his research. He knows how to find answers. And I have no reason to doubt or question anything he believes or anything that he says.
Well, he was detained under the idea that he was a threat to himself and others. And if he's a sane individual in this insane world and is proud about it, clearly he's a threat to himself because he can incur the wrath of the police state. And clearly he's a threat to others in that police state who get away with this. What do you think this says about Marines, military veterans coming home, realizing what's going on, and actually representing a threat to the government that they once served?
Well, I think that there's a really big push in American society right now perhaps by the government, mainstream media, to glorify veterans, but at the same time discredit them with all this talk about PTSD and things like that. And I believe the reason for that is because we typically are the group that is the most constitutionally aware, the most aware of our rights, the Bill of Rights, and we pay the most attention to what our government's doing because they send us away to fight for them, and we need to know. And so when we come back, usually we're calling them out on injustices and other things like that. Therefore, I feel as though they're kind of trying to discredit us, but glorify us at the same time.
Come home and shut up and get your ticker tape parade and everything will be okay. So speaking of PTSD, do you believe that Brandon has PTSD? What was his combat experience like, and would it be one that you think would incur some trauma that would have a healthy reaction with it?
Well, I'm not real sure what PTSD is.
How about a healthy reaction to an unhealthy situation? Or a sane reaction to an insane situation?
Well, I absolutely think he had a healthy reaction to an insane situation. Absolutely. I think what he's doing is right. Informing the American people, stepping out, speaking out against injustice, and just questioning. You know, what's wrong with asking questions? You know, going against the grain, going against the status quo. I completely agree with what he's doing. I completely support him. You know, I love him, and I hope they let him go.
Do you think this is a microcosm of something to come, perhaps? A shot across the bow, or just a glitch in what has become an out-of-control matrix?
I think it's just a glitch in what has become an out-of-control matrix, and I think it's going to get worse, honestly. I think it's going to get a lot worse. If you look at the legislation that's being passed, the executive orders that are being signed, what the Fed is doing, the Federal Reserve is running out of tricks in the bag. I think it is going to get a lot worse.
So, a warning sign rather than a warning shot. Are you then afraid, as a Marine veteran who shares these views, who's speaking out? Does this make you a little bit afraid to speak out, or what do you think the effect of this is on people like you?
No, I think I will tactfully speak out, but you got to speak out. I mean, you know, life is short. I'm not going to live it under a fascist society, you know, and keep quiet. But I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure what the future holds. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I have some ideas, but I will continue to speak out. I have nothing to be scared of. It can't be any worse than where I've been. So, you know, why not? I love my country. I love America. I love the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Founding Fathers. I love God. You know, I have nothing to be afraid of.